Hi, I'm Ruth, the Executive Chair of Women on Boards, so hello. This is my vacancies review for the week of the 13th onwards of September 2022. This is where I select a theme and talk about some of the vacancies on the WOB Jobs Board. Once again, just to reiterate, it's high time of the year for vacancies, so there's lots around, so please have a look at the jobs board when you get a chance. I know lots of you do already. So this week my theme is things that are a little bit different, and they're all paid, and you'll see what I mean when I run through them. So I've got about 6 or 7 interesting board roles across Australia and New Zealand, and here we go. First up, 27824, which is an ASX 300 company. The name of the company is not listed, and you need to access the contact person for a copy of the specification. But it's a software and services company in the energy sector, and they are looking for diversity of age, gender, and interests for their board, because, as the chairman said to me, they really need to move beyond their current board members, which are all of the same age and gender, shall we say. So they're looking for international perspectives, e-commerce expertise, C-suite experience, information technology and systems experience, and ideally some knowledge of the energy sector, which is a pretty broad topic these days. Closes on the 16th of September, so you've got to be really quick for this one. Next up, 27840, CF Technologies Proprietary Limited, based in Victoria, closes on the 1st of November. They're offering shares or share options. They don't seem to have much cash. They have developed some technology for freight forwarding. I think it's a set of rollers that you put on underneath containers and move them more easily. It's very much an early stage company. They're looking for marketing, innovation and technology. I suspect they know lots about the technology, but don't know too much about marketing. So that's one if you're feeling a bit adventurous. Next up, 27834, Marlborough Electric Power Trust of New Zealand. Now, I'm a wine drinker and not quite like Marlborough wines, but this is the Electric Power Trust. Closes on the 25th of September, and once again, of course, is paid. They're looking for business acumen, digital transformation, technology and infrastructure, and an understanding of technology rollout, strategic planning and implementation. So the full suite of skills that you need to run a modern business in the tech sort of area. So that's the Marlborough Electric Power Trust. Next up, Endeavour Energy New South Wales, closes on the 19th of September, so you've got to be quick here as well. 27805. They're really transitioning from being a wholly owned state enterprise to a majority private ownership entity. So that's a bit interesting. And they're looking for audit and asset management and an understanding of infrastructure. And I would have thought they're looking for an understanding of governance too, but they should have lots of that capability given that they're moving to restructure themselves. Next up, 27779, Workways Australia Limited. This is a national role, closes on the 23rd of September. It's paid. Now, this is a not-for-profit, so it fits nicely into my campaign of late to encourage not-for-profits to pay their directors, particularly when they run a business, which this does. And this is an organisation that promotes the relief of poverty of individuals experience long-term unemployment. So very worthy. It's quite a large business. Could be very interesting. Lots of opportunities for innovation, I would have thought, but they happen to be looking for stakeholder engagement, finance, governance, marketing, and leadership. So that's 27779. Next up, Terrain Natural Resource Management Queensland, 27844. Closes on the 3rd of October. And this also is a not-for-profit, but it's paid. It's a community-based organisation, and you'll know that there are lots and lots of these across Australia called natural resource management enterprises. Some of them pay and some of them don't. The rules are that they can't pay their directors from government funding, which a lot of them get, but they can pay their directors from other sources of income. And Really, given the importance of natural resource management, you might think that these organisations want to professionalise, do things in a slightly more business-like manner. Not to suggest that volunteers don't do that, but it does help if you've got somebody who can devote more than part-time efforts to your organisation. This is a director role, however. It's a part-time role, and they are looking for public relations, governance, particularly environmental governance, innovation, ESG regulatory environment and understanding thereof. Based in Queensland, that could be pretty interesting. So that's 27844, closes on the 3rd of October. Next up, 27841, the East Gosford and Districts Financial Services Limited. This is a franchise of the Bendigo Bank, and it closes on the 30th of September. And interestingly, this is also a paid vacancy. Many of the Bendigo Bank franchises are not paid because they're community-based organisations that are sort of starting up and trying to get a presence in the local business community. But this one clearly sounds a bit more established. It's got 16 people as employees, so it's pretty big for a bank branch, I would have thought. They're looking for business acumen, public relations, digital marketing and social media, and digital transformation. So it sounds to me like this is the local branch of the Bendigo Bank, and they're trying to upskill and make their presence a bit more felt in the community. So that closes on the 30th of September. Give that a go if you're interested, and particularly if you're interested, it's an usual entry, one of the usual entries to the banking and finance sector if you're not a banking and finance professional who have a natural set of skills that financial services enterprises are looking for. And finally, 27773, Landscape SA. What is this, you might ask? Well, it closes on the 30th of September. It's paid. There's about 8 bodies looking for directors, and they manage South Australia's landscapes. Now, I would suggest you have a look at the website to see what that actually means. It sounds to me like a variant of 27844, which was the terrain natural resource management entity, but I'll leave that for you to make further inquiries. And they are looking for stakeholder engagement, governance, and natural resource management. So that perhaps gives you a hint. That could be very interesting if you're SA based, and given there's 8 of them, it will help if you're geographically located to the particular area that you're putting your hand up for. So there we go. That's 8 interesting roles, 1 ASX, 1 early stage technology company, a couple of power companies, as I call them, and a couple of not-for-profits, 1 government, and 1 franchise of a bank. So a really broad collection of things that you might be interested in, at least some of those. And remember that WOB has got the capacity to assist you going forward with applications. We've got our online CV module that you can get to via the website, and that is a self-guided mechanism for developing your board CV. Very important when applying for roles. And always, if you're stuck, send me an email. I'm always happy to give you a bit of guidance. ruth.med@womenonboards.org.au. So I hope you enjoyed that. Vacancies for the 13th of September. I wish you well, and hopefully some of you will put your hand up for some of those roles. So thank you.